My name's Chelsey Zaplachinski. In May of 2016, Azumme Degun packed up her life in Nigeria and moved halfway around the world to Canada. After navigating the immigration process, Azumme realized that her true passion in life lay in mentoring others. Azumme is now the director of a not-for-profit where she plays a large role in coordinating their mentorship program. Azumme, it's so great to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you, Chelsey. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I think we'll just dive straight in. So how did you get to where you are now?
I have a bachelor's in economics. I got into university really young. I'm not sure that I knew exactly what I wanted to do at that point, but I wanted a degree. And right after school, I went into banking. I did about 7 years of banking in my home country, Nigeria. And I did that in a variety of roles in the banking sector. And then I got married. I started to have kids. It was tough to be in banking and raise a family with young kids. So I moved into a role in government and I spent about 3 years there. So when I moved to Canada, my experience was basically banking and governance. And I started working in banking here for a bit. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to transition from my role in banking into what I'm doing now.
Do you want to talk about your current position?
I'm currently the director for the mentoring program at the Edmonton Region Immigrant Employment Council. Most people just say ERIC for short. It's a mouthful. We're not-for-profit, and what we do is provide career settlement services to immigrants. I lead the team that does the mentoring program. Essentially, what we do is career-specific matching. Right. So in an ideal situation, we would be matching an accountant with an accountant, an engineer with an engineer, because we believe there's value to be gotten there. It's one thing to move here with a degree in accounting or engineering and think that I'm just going to get a job. Yeah. But the reality can be very different.
So you started working in banking.
Mm-hmm. And banking is an amazing profession. My husband's in banking. He loves it.
Really, yeah?
But that's not me.
Okay.
Right? I did a self-appraisal and I asked myself, can you do this another 15, 20 years? And I was honest with myself, no. That's not the fire that burns on the inside of me. And so even though I had a good job and a stable job, I still had my eyes out for what I wanted to do. And one of the events again at ERIC, I think it was a global talent conference, I met someone who was in a position to hire. We were just sitting at the same table chatting. And she said, no, what do you do? And I said, this is what I do, but this is what I would love to do. And she said, you know what? I might have a position for you in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't see that one coming.
Wow, yeah.
And true to her word, in 2 weeks, I did go through all the entire recruitment process. And I had that job. It was a scary leap for me because it was a 1-year part-time contract role. But I saw it for me as an opportunity to get my foot in the door doing what I wanted to do. So even though I was leaving the comfort and security of my job in the bank, I really wanted to get into what I am doing. And so I said, you know what? It's part-time and it's contract. I don't know what's going to happen after 1 year, but I'm going to take my chances. And before that 1 year was up, I got literally headhunted by another organization that said, we've seen the work you've been doing and we'd like for you to join. I didn't apply. They came to me. Yes. And with all humility, I know that this is not the typical immigrant story, but it's helped me to see what has worked for me. And that's, I keep saying, why I want to pay it forward. I want to coach other people to put these things to work. Sometimes things that they don't even notice are a big deal.
In the position that you have now where you work mentoring immigrants, was that your decision or did you kind of decide on something else and this fit in with that?
I knew that I wanted to do something along the lines of recruitment.
Okay.
But I didn't want mainstream human resources. I don't kind of do the hiring and the firing. I just, that's not me. I would feel bad. But at the same time, I felt like every time I saw the resume of a new immigrant, I felt like, oh no, you're doing this wrong. So this is how you should probably be doing it if you want the results. So I knew it wasn't mainstream HR. It wasn't recruitment per se, But I felt that niche where I don't know what I'm even going to call what I want to do, but I see the gap that I want to fill. And that's when I just sort of jumped into looking for roles in those lines.
And then once it came up, it felt right? Like you knew that was it?
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. You asked if I talked to my husband.
Yeah.
So when we came, he went back to Nigeria for about a year. So I was here alone with the kids. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, I want to resign. And he's
surprise.
Like,
yeah.
You say what?
Yeah.
And he's very supportive. And he's like, I know your mind is made up, madam. I will support you. And just for him having that trust in the decision I was making was all the support I needed.
But you followed what felt right for you?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that you took an experience in banking that wasn't fulfilling and you took that leap. And because you had faith in yourself, you've come so far.
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. I mean, I can look back in retrospect and laugh about a few things. They were not laughable at the time. I was literally shaking in my boots. What are you doing? You're moving halfway across the world. You're leaving everything that you know, right? And then you were lucky enough. God was kind to you. You got a job in a short while. And then you're going to leave that to pursue something you think you want but don't know what it really is.
Yeah, it does
not sound
good,
right? But I knew that was what I wanted. And I keep going to the analogy that I saw a long time ago. I don't even remember where. When you're pursuing something, it's like the headlamps on a vehicle. You can probably see 50 meters or maybe 100 meters when your headlamps are on. Right. And you see what's ahead that 100 meters. But in order to see what's ahead the next 100 meters, you need to move. Right? And I literally felt like I can see the next 100 meters. I don't know what lies beyond that, but I got to move for my lamps to be able to shine further enough to see another 100 meters and keep going.
What would you say was your largest learning challenge? Like when you were transitioning from banking into the non-for-profit role that you have now?
It was adapting to the Canadian workplace culture.
Okay.
It's something that I don't know to say that I struggled with it, but it took quite a bit of learning because I realized that the things that I thought were normal, somebody else thought were weird. The things that I thought were weird, somebody else thought was normal. Part of the work that I do now is in diversity and inclusion and intercultural training. Canada is a very multicultural country. In a typical workplace, everybody's from someplace or second generation somewhere else. It took a lot of deliberate learning and deliberate work on my part to learn to work in a multicultural environment. So it just that balance of being more conscious of what somebody else thinks or feels. Yeah, that was a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
I think that the immediate barrier that hits anyone is the weather.
Oh, yeah?
Depending on what time of the year you come.
Cold?
It's like no one tells you. It's boom, in your face.
Right.
In my country, we're probably at plus 20, plus 30 all year round. And I moved here in the spring, and it was plus 16. And I wouldn't leave the house.
That's still a big change.
It was.
15 degrees,
and it was windy. So
Yeah.
I feel bad for anyone who has to land here in the winter. Because any jacket that's from outside Canada is probably not for Canadian winter. Right? So, no, you got to get that memo.
Okay.
So, apart from things like the weather, language, and network, it's not having people to lean on. Everybody's situation is unique. Sometimes you have kids and you're trying to get them into school, trying to figure out how the school system works.
Right.
Maybe you're trying to get your driver's license and you're trying to rent an apartment. So there really is a lot on the plate of the typical immigrant professional.
Yeah, it seems like there's already that life-altering decision of picking up your whole life and moving somewhere. Mm-hmm. So that's scary. And then there's these cultural barriers and the language barriers and the weather barriers. It almost seems like at that point, looking for a job is the easiest thing. Like, oh man, I know how to do accounting. Like, I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yes, sometimes it's the juggling everything that's the headache.
When you did take the position that you're at now, or was it all purely learning on the job for you?
So there was a lot of personal research, I went online and I found a lot of organizations that are doing the kind of work that we do, a lot of them in different capacities. Some was organizations doing mentorings for students, some for young adults, some for women. Everybody sort of has a niche. And I was picking a little something from everybody and trying to tailor everything I was getting into my current role and how I could help move that forward.
What would you do differently if you were given the opportunity to go back?
I don't know that I would do anything absolutely differently because I think that I was doing the right things, even though I didn't know that they were the right things to do. I felt like I should have been doing those things, but at the time I didn't know that these were sort of stacking up to help me create a foundation for me. So I don't know that I would have done anything differently. I took the steps that I should have taken.
So do you have any advice that you would give for someone that is looking to make a big move like that?
Half of the battle is in your head. The first thing is, what is your why?
Right.
Why do you want to move? Why do you want to change your career? Now, when you find that why, you need to understand that not everybody will believe in it or even understand it. There will be times that it will be lonely because you're pursuing a vision that some people don't understand. You have to be willing to fight for it. There will be gray days, but you got to keep going. Another thing that I would say is, one thing that I find that helps is planning.
Okay.
In my personal and professional life, I'm the planner. I have my 10-year goals, 5-year goals, 1-month goals, 1-week goals. I have journals for this, journals for that. And maybe I'm just that type A kind of person, but it helps me to put my vision to paper and to see like visually where I want to go and to check the boxes as I go along. There will be times where your plans will be thrown off course, but just having that guiding light that you're working towards, that makes a difference. Do you have kids? Awesome. Then you need to plan and prepare and read about the educational system. As much as you can do before you get here, please do it, right? Because when you get here, it's overwhelming. So little things like, what's the educational system like? Is my kid going to go in a grade 2 or they're going to go in a grade 4? Do some studying before you get here. What's the driving license process? Can I bring my license from my country? Do I get credits for it? Things like that. It's okay. So what does a typical Canadian resume look like? You won't get it perfectly, but go online, research, see what it looks like. Try to do something. Research cities and organizations that hire for the roles you're trying to look for and trying to get into. If you're going to switch careers, identify your transferable skills, right? Identify if you need a total reskilling or it's something you can slide into bit by bit. Do you need to hit the ground running and go to school first, or can you start with what you know and then try to get into what you're trying to get into? Things like that. So I feel like those are the things that will help make your path a little smoother.
So I want to pull back to when you were talking about finding your why. And I want to ask you what your why is.
Whys. Okay, so my why with coming to Edmonton was my children. And I'm not living for my kids. I'm living for myself, but I'm also trying to create opportunities for them. And for the career change, I'm big on value adding. And as a banker, yes, I did add value. I did, especially to people's financial lives and giving people access to information and training on better financial support. But I feel like that's just a piece of the puzzle. If they don't have some other things going for them, it's hard to get your banking done right. I felt like the value I was adding in as a banker was kind of superficial, surface level. I wanted deeper value that has a ripple effect, value that they can pay forward, value that they can pass on to their kids, value that they can share in their community, value that they can wake up years down the line and say, you know what, this made a difference to my life. And so, yeah, that's why I changed careers.
I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk about your journey so far in life.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. That's today's episode. I want to thank you all for listening. ReSkilled is brought to you today by Onlea, transforming lives through the power of learning. Production help from William Fritzberg, Jeff Woodward, Beau Desonier, Adriana Lopez Ferrero, and me. My name's Chelsey Zaplachinski.